All right. Hello, I'm Alex Dupuis from Verdant Vibes, and I am here with composer, performer, and artist Patricia Martínez, whose electric guitar piece, C'est l'amour, is going to be on our concert this Saturday, played by myself. So, first question, Patricia, can you give us a bit of background about C'est l'amour and also its title?
Yes, hello, Alex. First of all, thank you for this invitation and for including my piece in this season of Verdant Vibes. I am really happy about that because I also they perform and also at previous piece that you also performed at my previous piece, and I am really happy with this. So about your question about this piece for electric guitar, it's a piece that I wrote in 2018, so a few years ago. The title is because the central idea of this piece was working with a concept of the psychoanalysis that I also made the quotation on the score because for Lacan, one time he said, "Le psychanalyse, c'est l'amour," in French, no? The psychoanalysis is love, and for me that was very inspiring because electric guitar. When I decided to do this piece, because in fact it was not my decision because it was commissioned by a composition course in Darmstadt, and it was for electric guitar in particular. Was a concert curated by Jaron Dash. And the first thing that I think when I always think about electric guitar is that is maybe the symbol of the music in popular music and for young people, for many musicians, because in my impression, maybe it's the most performer instrument everywhere. But I want to reflect about that in another more maybe internal way, and to try to look into the relationship between the performer and the instrument and how this relationship is growing and is working, maybe with sometimes with reasons that even we don't understand. So that was a little bit my intention to work with this piece. It's about how is working this sometimes somehow in a kind of seductive relationship, and in another way also kind of I don't know, very intimate and very related to their own desires and wishes and aspirations in life, because it's an instrument that also is a symbolic element of how a lot of young people wants to do in life, not just a rock star or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, and in learning this piece, I found myself thinking because the piece has it's very gestural and has a lot of to me movements that are specific to electric guitar playing. That just in a way as a guitarist almost feel very personal, and as guitarists I feel like we often celebrate idiosyncrasies of the iconic players that we look to in terms of how they move with the guitar or the techniques they use. And so I was wondering when you were writing both how you think about writing for electric guitar, and also whether you have any particular electric guitarists that are inspirations to you when you're writing.
Yes, I don't have a inspiration, yes, of a particular performer, but I was like involved in this kind of I don't know how to say, but all these over impressions around the electric guitar, over, I don't know, the glamour. I don't know how to express, but that was very something that I want to explore. And when you say about the gestuality or the movements, I am not thinking about that as a separate thing. I am thinking that as a complementary, extended part of music. It's something that has to be connected. It's not something strange that it had to just something like without meaning. Really, it has to. It could be or not. But in this case, it's necessary to complete the idea. I think this is my intention. Yes.
No, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, uh, for myself, like, growing up and listening to guitar, I found that like a lot of famous guitarists in a certain way didn't really make sense to me until I saw videos of them and, doing their particular sort of rock star moves. And then I was like, oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. um, and this brings me to my next question a little bit. So more generally, looking at the larger body of work that you've done, many of your pieces are very much multimedia performances where you've got the music, but you also have lighting and video and choreography. And so I was wondering if you could talk about who or what are your inspirations for creating this kind of multimedia work?
Yes. First of all, I don't call that multimedia because for me, when we think about multimedia, we are thinking about different things that they are together. And in my case, music is the central point. It's not something that is just, okay, this is something that you can add with this, with this, with this, and maybe music is something like in a not very important level, no? I think music is the central part, but the thing is, what is the concept of music that I want to express in my works? And for me, it's something that is more expanded and more extended than just the acoustic part, because the reality is that when we are experiencing a concert or a performance, we are including all our senses. We are looking at the things not just with our ears, and also with our eyes. And I don't know. The thing is, in fact, the most important for me is to follow the needs of each project. So what the work needs. It's not something that I want to add because of an a priori intention, because I try to be really honest with the work itself. I don't think that I am only the owner, because I think that when we create, we also create with culture and with something that are transversal to our all imaginary. It's not just us. It's something more, I think. And it's good to be to really know that this is that. It's not this to know. So I don't find the exact word in English, but this is the idea that I want to express. I don't know if it's clear.
Yes. So moving on to the pandemic portion of the interview, how has your life been as a composer this past year?
Yes, the thing is, in particular in my life, I am going through a very particular part of my life, because I am also in a health treatment, and this pandemic also was, in a way, I know it's something very difficult, and I also wanted that it finish as soon as possible because it's very, very critical. But in a way, it's something that is accompanying me in this journey, because I cannot do anything, all things that I wanted to do in case everything it will be great. And it's something a bit comforting, my soul a little bit in this kind of humanity trying to. I think it's of course there is very very sad the great deaths and the people dying and this problem with the vaccines that they are not going really faster as we need. But I think in another way, it's an opportunity to explore as a humanity other ways of how to really help other people, how to really be with ourselves without many distractions, and how to change our concept of society. I think it's because we are here because we have a lot of problems before. It's not just one day that's just happened. So we didn't do anything, very things that we had to do, and that is also have to accept, I think.
Yeah. And for our last question, what is most exciting to you as an artist right now?
Yeah, I think most exciting for me is things that they cannot happen with this situation, because we are all virtual now. We have to be distant, and it's difficult because I don't know. Maybe we had to adapt our dreams to the new situation, but I don't know. I like very much, for example, to work on full-length projects, because I like the situation that people can be really immersive in a piece, and also can, when you have this kind of full-length project, and also for different performers, different voices, I like to really I need this maximization of elements, because I think it's the way that I want to express my ideas and what I want to do in my art, and also a way to connect with people and to connect with with audience, because the concert format for me is something that is a little bit I don't know, like a jail, something like that, because it's you have to, as a public, you have to change your mind each 10 minutes, it's 10, 15 minutes, because it's not possible to really create something that you can be inside of that. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to get this. And for me, that is very important. Also, another important thing is how to change for example, the current situation when big theaters are going on, because new music and contemporary music, it's like they are something very foreign, or things that they are outsider, and they are not really part of the program, the seasons of the theaters and opera theaters, and that we need to change that, because also as a female composer, this is another very big question, no? How to visibilize our work and our art, no?
Yeah. I don't know what it's been like for you, but for me, just the thought of being able to get back towards live performance at all is just kind of like
Exactly, yes, of course.
Oh.
Of course, we cannot change, you cannot think about anything, because the most simple thing now is very difficult, and
yeah,
we don't know.
No. Well, that is all for right now, but thank you so much, Patricia, for talking with us, and we are looking forward to Saturday.
Thank you very much, Alex, and I hope will be a very great concert. I am happy that Bird and Vice will do this.